Below is an expanded, more engaging version of the passage, about twice its original length, written in clear English. It details how submarines function like special forces of the seas, examines their evolution as some of the deadliest naval assets in the modern world, and highlights the next generation of undersea power each major navy is currently developing. Submarines, the stealthy special forces of the seas. Throughout naval history, submarines have occupied a unique and deeply mysterious role, akin to elite special forces within an army. Operating far behind enemy lines, these silent hunters function without direct support, constantly lurking out of sight and evading detection. Day in and day out, submarine crews carry out perilous missions that demand secrecy, stealth, and immense technological sophistication. This clandestine nature profoundly influences submarine design. Many navies build these vessels to remain invisible under the waves, where, unlike surface warships, they can ambush adversaries, gather intelligence, or safeguard ballistic missiles. The result is a vast spectrum of submarine sizes, capabilities, and missions. A huge range of sizes and missions. Depending on strategic needs and the theater of operations, submarine designs vary dramatically. Consider the now retired American NR-1, which weighed just 400 tons and stretched a modest 174 feet. It was built for deep-sea research and specialized tasks rather than all-out warfare. Contrast that with Russia's Typhoon-class ballistic missile submarines, each exceeding 25,000 tons, submerged and measuring more than 75 feet in length, truly colossal machines intended to roam the ocean depths, bristling with nuclear missiles capable of reshaping global conflict. Submarines also serve an equally vast array of roles. Some are stealthy attack boats primed to torpedo hostile ships or other subs, while others operate as ballistic missile platforms, silently carrying nuclear warheads across the globe. Still others engage in deep cover reconnaissance, slipping into enemy waters to track fleet movements or intercept communications. Thanks to new technologies emerging since World War I, today's subs are among the deadliest force multipliers a navy can wield. A single sub concealed in the ocean can deter entire fleets more effectively than a group of surface warships drawing lines on a map. Naridu, why submarines are so influential. Oceanic immensity. Earth's oceans are vast and largely opaque to most detection methods, especially below a certain depth. Submarines exploit this reality, submerging beneath thermoclines or using quiet electric drives so that sonar operators struggle to pick them out from the ambient noise. 2. High-level secrecy. Even within the Navy chain of command, only a handful of individuals know precisely where a deployed submarine is at any given moment. That secrecy makes them unpredictable, giving adversaries pause before maneuvering large surface fleets into contested areas. As imposing as submarines are, they aren't invulnerable. A specialized domain of naval warfare. ASW, anti-submarine warfare, brings together advanced technology and multi-platform forces to pinpoint and neutralize hidden undersea threats. Number 3, the challenge of anti-submarine warfare, ASW. Modern ASW harnesses every resource navies possess, from surface ships towing sophisticated sonar arrays to maritime patrol planes dropping sonobuoys to attack subs themselves stalking rival submarines. Once a submarine is located, it may face torpedoes, depth charges, or naval mines unleashed by these platforms. Moreover, stationary or mobile sensor networks like the Sound Surveillance System, SOSUS, first designed by the U.S. Navy during the Cold War to track Soviet subs, have grown into integrated global listening webs known as IUS, Integrated Undersea Surveillance System. In response, submarine builders continually refine hull shapes, develop near-silent propulsion, and leverage advanced electronics to stay one step ahead. Successful submarines must be stealthy, potent, and self-sufficient across the world's oceans, exploiting acoustic blind spots to remain undetected. The U.S. Navy's submarine arsenal and a new super sub. With one of the largest and most technologically advanced subfleets, the U.S. Navy maintains Los Angeles class, attack subs, a longtime mainstay, Ohio class, ballistic missile and guided missile subs, the strategic backbone, Virginia class, fast attack subs, replacing older Los Angeles hulls, a small number of Seawolf class maritime vessels, renowned for extreme quieting and heavy weapon loads. Altogether about 7 to 74 submarines operate under the U.S. flag. Yet the Navy recognizes the need to leap ahead in capability. Enter the Columbia class, a fresh generation of so-called super submarines aimed to replace the Ohio-class ballistic missile subs in carrying America's nuclear deterrent deep underwater. The Bochek's Columbia class, the next frontier. According to the Navy's FY 2020 budget plan, they intend to build 12 Columbia-class SSBNs for around $109 billion total, including research and development. These new boats will begin entering service in the early 2030s, each measuring around 560 feet more in length, with a submerged displacement exceeding 20,000 tons. Featuring Bi-16 missile tubes for Bi-Trident II D5I ballistic missiles, each submarine wields nuclear warheads capable of striking targets over about 7,500 miles away. Engineering leaps include next-gen nuclear reactor, built to last the submarine's entire 40-year service life without refueling. Advanced acoustic detection, a large aperture bow array sonar and top-notch hydrophones. Electric drive and fly-by-wire. Eliminates mechanical linkages to reduce noise and enhance maneuverability. Sound absorption coatings. Further muffles the sub's acoustic signature. By skipping midlife refuelings, Columbia-class boats can remain at sea longer, delivering a second-strike deterrent role instead of languishing in dry dock. Quiet propulsion and hull coatings aim to outclass the latest sonar tech, ensuring these subs stay hidden in the planet's depths. Russia's quiet submarine race. While the U.S. builds the Columbia class, Russia, which has a storied legacy in submarine technology, continues fielding the Bore-class nuclear-powered ballistic missile subs, advanced enough to rival initial Columbia units. Simultaneously, Russia pushes another radical design, Project 09851, Khabarovsk. Rumored for unveiling around mid-2020, instead of conventional ballistic missiles, Khabarovsk deploys Poseidon nuclear-powered drone torpedoes with theoretically unlimited range. Each Poseidon torpedo could carry a thermonuclear warhead around 100 megatons, potentially targeting coastal cities, naval bases, or even carrier groups. With extremely high speeds and deep-diving capabilities, Poseidon might evade current-generation torpedoes and defensive systems, granting Russia a new form of nuclear leverage in undersea warfare. China's expanding undersea might. Meanwhile, China invests heavily in submarines to enlarge its deterrent and project naval power. They already operate 4 Type 094 Jin class ballistic missile subs, with 2 more launched in 2020. These nuclear-propelled SSBNs enable China to hold distant targets at risk from the sea. But Beijing's ambitions don't stop there. The next design, Type 096, is expected to carry Gao JL-3, submarine-launched ballistic missiles, SLBMs, with an estimated range exceeding 7,000 miles, capable of employing multiple independently targetable re-entry vehicles, MIRVs. By fielding a new generation of stealthier hulls and advanced missile technology, China cements a major leap in its sea-based nuclear deterrent, potentially challenging U.S. and Indian maritime operations in the Pacific or Indian Ocean. India enters the fray. India also commits billions to develop its own submarine-based deterrent, the Arihant class. SSBNs, with the lead boat INS Arihant launched in 2009, represent India's first domestically built nuclear submarines. An eventual fleet of Hui-6 such subs will carry nuclear-capable K-series SLBMs under the Defense Research and Development Organization, DRDO. Each missile may reach up to 5,000 miles. A robust ballistic missile submarine program allows India to position itself as a nuclear superpower on par with regional rivals, especially China, in contested areas like the South China Sea or Indian Ocean. Chakra D. Why submarines? Trump other vessels. In recent years, many navies have realized that advanced submarine projects can yield a greater strategic punch than surface capital ships such as aircraft carriers. One hidden sub carrying nuclear missiles or supersonic cruise weapons can deter potential adversaries far more discreetly and sometimes more cost-effectively than a carrier strike group reliant on large logistical footprints. Given the leaps in submarine stealth, sonar, propulsion, and guided missile technology, the next 2 decades promise a surge of newly launched subs among major navies. Though the U.S. is forging ahead with Columbia-class and Advanced Virginia-class Block 5, Russia eyes new stealth nuclear platforms, China invests heavily in SLBM-equipped Type 096 boats, and India pushes Arihant-class expansions. Elsewhere, countries like France, the UK, and even smaller powers also refine their own next-gen designs, ensuring the oceans will host increasingly silent yet capable machines. Looking ahead, a submerged arms race. Today, more than ever, naval strategists track undersea developments with caution. Each new submarine hull represents not just an incremental addition to a fleet, but a potential shift in the maritime balance of power. Even a small handful of these stealthy behemoths can tip the scales in regional or global conflicts. With ballistic missiles that can target distant continents, nuclear torpedoes that ignore existing defenses, and advanced sensor suites to outwit enemy ASW, the submarine arms race looms large. For anyone watching from the outside, it's a stark reminder that while aircraft carriers and destroyers make headlines, submarines might be the decisive factor in tomorrow's wars. And with an array of new projects competing for undersea supremacy, the near future is bound to bring more intrigue, more stealth, and more revolutionary breakthroughs in submarine tech. Your take: which submarine program stands out the most? Is it the stealth-laden Columbia class, the formidable Russian Khabarovsk-wielding Poseidon torpedoes, the Chinese Type 096 with MIRVs, or India's push into nuclear deterrence with Arihant-class boats? Each project displays a different facet of 21st century naval doctrine: stealth, strategic deterrence, advanced propulsion, or multi-role functionality. We'd love to hear your views. Feel free to comment on which submarine you think will shape the undersea battlespace in the decades to come. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the evolving world of submarine design, technology, and strategy, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. This way, you'll always catch our latest insights into global military developments, whether it's the next sub-launch, an advanced fighter jet test, or a new ballistic missile unveiling. Until then, keep an eye on the oceans, because under those waves lurk some of the most devastating military platforms humankind has ever built. And as new hulls slide off the docks of major naval powers, the silent war for undersea supremacy only grows more complex and potentially more dangerous.